Welcome back to another episode of Am I Doing This Wrong? I am one of your hosts, Morgan, here with...
Hey, everyone.
Not a great handoff, sorry. I know.
Yeah.
Like, look in my eyes, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm here with wink, wink. Yeah. She is here with someone, though. I do exist. My name is Ryann, and I am Morgan's co-host. So happy to be here. It's just feeling better and better each week. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to dive in. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. We're definitely going to be diving into some some interesting information. So before we get into that, how are you doing?
So today I'm good. And I will let the viewers and audience know this is a special day for me because I started therapy again. So long overdue, but honestly, right on time at the same time. And so I am very glad to say that it was a great experience. It was overwhelming and it was exactly what I needed. I am a person of passion. And so when I do something, if it doesn't overwhelm me, just like sex, I'm like, well, on to the next one. So, no, but it was really good. It was a really good first day therapy. And my week honestly was kind of shit. It was all over the place. And I was like, how about we don't record tonight? But I wasn't going to tell you that more. I was just going to keep that hidden. But because I went to therapy, I can be honest with you and tell you.
Oh my God, look at you. You're cured. It works.
So good. Yeah.
She did therapy right, guys.
Yeah, my first and last therapy appointment happened today, and I'm an expert now. So, no.
Oh, no, that's awesome, though. I love therapy. Yeah, Ryann texted me. She's like, I'm crying. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I cried in my first, 5 appointments. So that's a good sign. That's a good thing.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I didn't, just to clarify, I didn't text her during the therapy appointment.
Oh, yeah. She's like under the table, like, I mean, dude, this is like, it wasn't one of those. We checked in afterward.
Yeah, we checked in afterward. It just always surprises me how much we always still have to talk about, which is awesome, obviously, because we have a podcast based on us not being able to shut the fuck up, but also because I'm so glad that we get to check in a real way. And this felt like a really good first step into, checking in a healthy way, if that makes sense. Yeah. So how are you?
I'm good, doing well. I had therapy yesterday. We were talking offline about this, but it was a good conversation. We're going to try a guided meditation that I'm excited about at my next appointment. I just didn't know the different kind of techniques that my therapist did. So she was explaining what she did in a previous appointment, and it just sounded really interesting and something I'm, wanting to try. So that's happening. I'm excited for that. I'll be starting a new job soon. So that's going to be interesting with the schedule. So, but looking forward to that. Excited to get things going there. Otherwise, pretty active weekend. I was out in nature, if anyone knows me, that's crazy. Yeah.
Wait.
I was in LA.
Okay.
So let's not get crazy. It was a trail. There was dirt.
Yeah. I was in Wyoming. I was just in the fucking trees. I don't even know what's out there, but you were in it. No, you weren't.
What's You're in Wyoming? Yeah, neither of us are familiar.
Yellowstone. I know because I drove through there reluctantly.
Oh yeah.
It was beautiful.
Best trip of your life. Yeah, no, I remember. Middle America, man.
Yeah, that's an episode.
That's yeah. Maybe we'll do a recap of your experience on your road trip moving from California to Maryland.
I can't talk about my road trip because that is my next therapy appointment.
Okay, so we'll check in.
Yeah.
We'll check in after the therapy so you can,
right.
Some of that.
We're keeping that in, by the way. This is the reality of podcasting. Every podcast duo, you're not in the same room all the time. Is everybody just crazy editing all of their material all the time? Or I don't know. This is real. Okay.
I mean, if they are, give me some tips because I'll be the one crazy editing this episode. So maybe a kind, generous listener will give me some pointers. That'd be great. And we're frozen.
You froze again. Oh, you're back. Damn it. Okay.
Darn it. I hope this doesn't happen all episode long.
I know. It was so good the last 2 times too.
I know. I don't know what's going on.
I know. Okay. Do you want to okay, just keep going, or do you want to okay.
We'll fix it in post.
Okay. That's fine.
People say that. Okay. All right. So today we have a fun topic. Well, we'll see what, see if that's a good way to describe it. It's fun.
It's fun. It's happening. It's current. It's all the things.
It should be happening. Okay. So today we are talking about contraception. Which, okay, first I'm going to start from the top, a little different. Are we doing this wrong? And I'm going to say everyone has probably done this wrong. And if you say you haven't, I call bullshit, because we've all had to go to Walgreens and, awkwardly buy the, Plan B or whatever. Just admit it. So.
You're not wrong. And even if you are, I don't know if you know that term, like golden gaze, like meaning like you haven't been with the opposite sex. So you're like golden, whatever.
Well, technically in our last episode, that means you're still virgin.
Half virgin.
Half virgin, excuse me.
But I'm just saying, for those of you that haven't had to experience it, because either you just haven't had to experience it because you're just like touched by God, or because penises don't get penises pregnant. That's very thankful for you. So if you haven't experienced it, hopefully you've taken your girl best friend.
Well, just some form of protection, right. Everyone's had a mishap, yes. Let's say. Where'd the condom go? That's a good question. I'm sure everyone's asked that. Well, I had to flip on the lights. We gotta look around, gotta look in places. That's what I mean. The Plan B, walk is just one experience, but there are many out there. I'm just saying overall, I call bullshit if you say you haven't. So.
Yeah, overall, we've all done it wrong, so let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay, so this could just be for me. Maybe everyone's like up to date on the definition of contraception, but when I was thinking about the topic, I'm thinking, okay, protection as a form of birth control, as well as to STDs. But I didn't know if the word was all encompassing or if we just use it that way. So went over to dictionary.com to clarify. So contraception definition, the deliberate prevention of conception or impregnation by any of various drugs, techniques, or devices.
Okay.
So it is in regards to birth control specifically, but we do use it in regards to STIs, all that good stuff. So if that
okay, so protection
for me.
Yeah, no, protection from anything, not just.
Well, the definition is just in regards to birth, preventing birth. I don't know if other people think in the way that I thought of the term before I looked it up, which I was considering it in regards to both prevention of sexually transmitted infections as well as birth control. So, okay, so we're not going to give you a list of all the options for birth control. Go to Planned Parenthood, grab a pamphlet, educate yourself. Also support Planned Parenthood. We're big fans. I've definitely been there a million times. They do awesome stuff, and they, give a lot of accessibility to people. And I am a big supporter. So,
which I love. I know. Shout out to Planned Parenthood. Yeah, I love your. First of all, would love to be sponsored by Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood. If that's a thing, although they're being like defunded actively, so I don't think they have any funding to support.
No, that's true. Maybe we need to sponsor Planned Parenthood.
Literally,
we're not being funded by anything either, but donate, people. If you can and you'd like,
yes,
please donate to Planned Parenthood. They do awesome things.
I was just gonna say, I really like your description of Planned Parenthood. They do awesome stuff, which they do. I agree. They do amazing things. But yeah, I think that I just like that. They do awesome stuff and we should support. So yes, if you don't know anything about Planned Parenthood, support.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe should I give specifics? But I would assume people know. If you don't know about Planned Parenthood, go check it out and then donate to them because they do awesome stuff. So anyway, so we're not going to go over all the different forms. We'll go over a couple in regards to some specific things I wanted to talk about. But I thought this was interesting because we all have a pretty good idea, I would think, of modern contraception. You know, we know about condoms, we know about the pill, all that. But what about before that? What were people using prior to, you know, the 1900s for birth control? So I have a list here.
Was Saran wrap? Was Saran wrap that
created
back then?
Oh yeah, I know. I don't have the date on when plastic wrap was created, unfortunately, but there are some some options that people used prior to that. So let's go over this and see what Ryann thinks. So the first one is crocodile shit.
Morgan. I'm not frozen. I'm just appalled.
I know, as I was looking this up, I was just like cringing at the thought of putting weird things. We've talked about this in other episodes. I'm very conscientious of what goes in my vagina, which I know is a statement that probably applies to most people with a vagina. I know it sounds dumb, but just in regard.
Well, it doesn't apply to me. I was not always the smartest about what was in my vagina. Right. Morgan probably has better details.
Yeah, reference back to the body hair episode for more details on why Ryann brought this up previously.
Yeah, my vagina is seasoned, but not for all the right reasons. We'll just say that. Right, but I'm okay.
It's like a cast iron pan.
Yeah. It is. Oh my gosh, that's so true. And you have been there for every seasoning, you know. I mean, not in the room all the time.
All the time. Yeah. Letting people know how close to friends we are.
Yeah, exactly. That's another episode.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about crocodile shit. So, this one apparently in ancient Egypt, women would use this as contraception. They would mix it with sour milk to form a paste and insert it into the vagina with the hopes that it would create an acidic barrier to sperm.
Wow. So they were aware of the acidity. They were like, no, that's what's going to like kill the swimmers.
Right.
Wow.
They were like, where's the sour milk? Leave the milk out in the sun. I need it because I'm gonna fuck tonight. Like that was the thought process, and all those things. Oh yeah, made me sweat a little.
Yeah, that's like worse than an STI. That's just like you just have like a rotten body,
right?
like your body is now expired more than the milk,
right? Yeah. And can you just imagine the sexual experience? You know, Yeah, you stick it in there and then you're, you know, go meet up with your fella or whoever you're trying to prevent from having a child with.
Well, see, I like to think of it as like a ceremony. It's like a ritual, like the pharaoh. I mean, obviously
like
there's
no.
He puts it in, you know, he comes in, there's some candles lit, you know,
there's no electricity, but also
because there's no electricity, right? But it's also romantic, exactly. You know, they've got oils mainly because they don't have lotion yet, but it's like this whole thing, right? There's no sewage system, so things are kind of just like around. It's kind of already dirty anyway, and then they get it in. I don't know. That's my thought. Look, yeah, Morgan's like, ugh. I'm like, yeah.
I know. Ryan's down with this. She's like, pass the crocodile dung. Let's get into it. Okay.
I do not condone that, by the way.
Yeah, please don't try this at home. PSA. Like we said, we're not experts. We're not doctors. but please don't try any of
Clearly.
these. These are early forms for a reason. There are other options presently. So the next one was animal intestines, which didn't seem that crazy because I feel like I've heard, is like sheepskin condom a thing or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Lanolin, I believe it's called.
Oh.
Lanolin.
Say that again?
Lanolin. Really rolled off the tongue, didn't it?
Yeah, it's a lanolin. It's kind of a fun word.
It is a fun word.
That's gonna be stuck in my head this week.
Just like the lanolin was stuck in their vaginas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure literally that's why it's not good, because it can get like stuck in your vagina. Like, I'm not kidding.
Well, I'm sure it wasn't easy to get the crocodile shit out, so you know, be careful out there. So next one, acidic douching. So this was douching with different fluids such as seawater, lemon juice, or vinegar, which again, ouch. I just feel like this would hurt. I don't know.
Does anybody just feel like maybe, just maybe, that we live in a patriarchy? Like just maybe, some men were like, you know what you should do with that really, really sensitive part of your body? You should put some acid in it. It's gotta work. And you're like, well, or you could just like not come in me. No.
No, yeah.
You should put acid in your vagina, and that will be what, prevents babies. Mm-hmm. Because men always knew that something was shooting out. Like, I just find it hard to believe that through all these years, we never thought of the pullout game. Men were just like, they were still trying to like convince women of that in the dark ages, that like, but it feels better. So yeah. You know what I mean? Like that,
right.
that seems like...
Am I frozen? Oh wait, there we go. I was just gonna say, like, go stick your dick in a glass of lemon juice and let me know what you think.
Yeah.
What about that? So, yeah. So the next one is jumping.
Cool.
So you would jump backwards 7 times and then sneeze immediately after sex to prevent pregnancy. So,
this is my favorite one by far. So I support this over any of the other ones you mentioned.
I mean, yeah, this one seems least invasive. I'd probably start, that would be number 1 if I had to put these on a list of things I would try in order.
Yeah.
And the last one here is weasel testicles.
Well,
which,
so I thought we were going up. I thought we were like on a steady incline.
Okay, you don't put them up there. This one, I guess in the European Middle Ages, you would put them on like a necklace and wear them around your neck.
Oh,
wrapped in goose skin.
Okay.
To like ward off pregnancy.
So
this is more, spirituality or mysticism or something to that effect.
That's like you're like sacrificing the balls of a virgin like calf or whatever to like remain.
Why a weasel?
Why a weasel though? I don't know.
I don't know. What's special about their testicles?
What's special about any testicles?
All right, we'll have to do a side Google on that. Okay, and then some other ones real quick. I don't have more details, but like we said, okay, so lemons, Coca-Cola, which has not been around as long as, some of these other ones. So this is something that happened in more modern times.
Did they also just stick like Mentos up there and then some more Coca-Cola on it? It's like, that'll get the semen out.
Themselves off in a racket.
Like, that'll work, right? Yeah, just shoot it out. Like reverse coming. Just shoot it back out at them. Actually, that's what men deserve. You should shoot it. They're coming right back out at them. Like, our vaginas should do that. That should be contraception.
They just get shot in the dick with the Mentos. Get out of here. Yeah. Yes. Mercury, which is scary. Plastic wrap you already brought up, but we've all heard that. Feels like a middle school thing, wrap it up, literally, cling wrap. Lysol products were used at one point, and women got really sick, and some even died. It was not good. So Lysol had to change up their advertising, because it was whatever this product was released for this, but it wasn't. It was still all the same formula as what you would use to clean your house. So I didn't get too many details on that one. I just saw it mentioned. So, and as always, you guys know we'll have all of our sources in the show notes, so you can read more about the Weasel Testicles if you like. Okay. So now we know some older options, scary options, I would say. I looked up specifically contraception for men. And again, we're talking about this in the definition of contraception as prevention of pregnancy. Only a couple options, which if you've had a chance to go check out Planned Parenthood or wherever the internet, whatever, there are a million options for women. I know this is an exaggeration, but there are a ton for women. So for men, condoms, as we know, they can be up to 98% effective. And these are the only contraception that protects against STIs. So kind of tying in, thoughts around contraception versus the definition. Condoms are the only one.
Right. So. But it doesn't feel as good. I'm sorry. I just can't let go of that theme. Like I think it was one of those things, like you mentioned, like I heard a lot about contraception in middle school, just like from talk, not because we learned it. Our public school system has a lot of things to be desired. I work there now, so I know from the inside out, I can tell you.
Oh no, most of my sex education came from my foul mouth friends in, like 6th grade, junior high. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And so even with condoms, I remember even from a young age, like guys saying, but it just doesn't feel good. And condoms, like it was already known in my very virgin mind that condoms were not a thing that were going to be quote unquote cool for sex. Right. It was already something, it was a funny joke, right? You remember people would blow up condoms like balloons and stuff. Condoms were a funny joke.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you that, I did not know that condoms, I mean, it makes sense when you said it, but they're the only ones to prevent STIs. If you would have asked me that, I would have said NuvaRing or I don't know, something. Diva Cup. I don't know.
That's not even for that. Please don't use Diva Cup as contraception.
Well, why am I not pregnant? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
So the next one is a vasectomy. Snip, snip. Snip, snap, snip, snap. That's an office reference for anyone who likes The Office.
Yes.
So this is the most effective option for men. And then here's some stats that followed up. Only about 15 out of 10,000 people get pregnant in the year after the procedure. So
wait. So say that again. Okay. So men get snipped. And then what?
And then only about 15 out of 10,000 people get pregnant in the year after the procedure.
Is that a low?
So it's low, but it's not 100% effective. So it's the most effective option, but it's not a guarantee. And then it takes about 3 months for semen to be sperm free after a vasectomy. So
because you still produce semen, you still produce cum, you just don't have
you still ejaculate, but it's whether or not the sperm is in it or not.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, look at us. This is informative.
I know. Thank you, internet. Wow.
Yeah, seriously. Who needs school? Just kidding.
Know.
Stay in
Come
school.
here. Yeah, I feel like a health teacher. Come on in. No, I didn't learn anything in health class. That was a joke. So the next option is outer course. So everything but P and V.
Outer course. That sounds like a golf term.
It does.
I'm on the outer course today.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, the people on golf courses, I bet you, were the same ones that were like trying to have outer course.
I know.
It's like a bunch of old, weird, douchey white men that were like, yeah, let me
humping.
just like, let me just dry hump your leg.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad, I promise.
Yeah, you won't get pregnant this way, and then I won't have to pay for a second family. So.
Love that for them.
And then you know, trusty method here, last one for men, is they could put withdrawal, which made me feel like I was an ATM, but this is in regards to the pull-out method. Yeah.
I mean, in reality, women's bodies have been treated like ATMs. We're just here to swipe away, and you know, sometimes you walk away with cash and sometimes you don't, but yeah, we're just here for service, you know, for a service. That's it,
right? A transaction. Literally.
Wrong.
So another term for this was Coitus Interruptus, which I thought was kind of fun to say, so I kept that. That's
real cute.
Yeah. If anyone want to watch Bridgerton on Netflix, did you watch Bridgerton?
No,
it's okay. You can say it wasn't like the best, but I kept thinking of Bridgerton when I was putting these notes down.
I just don't like seeing, and this is for a different topic, but I just don't like seeing sprinkles of Black people and sprinkles of ethnically ambiguous people as like some form of like, look at Black people used to be royals too. I don't know. It's just not. I can't get past it. So I know about like the like awesome sex scenes, or and I don't even know if they're awesome. I've heard about them, but yeah, something about that to me is like what people think that diversity is. It's like, oh yeah, see, like there's some brown in there, but I'm like, I don't need that. There's people in the UK that have better accents than this, and they're real. So I don't know, whatever. Anyway, continue.
Well, if I ruined the sex scene, I'm sorry. If you haven't watched it, you know, spoiler, they're pulling out. So this method.
Do they really? Oh, they like explicitly show, or not show, but like they explicitly talk about them pulling out? Yeah,
but the girl doesn't know what he's doing. You know, she's very like naive to sex. And so we all know, you know, he's like rolling off of her, and then he's like, oh, you know, he finishes and she's like, oh, what's, you know, are you hurt? Or like, I forget what she says, but like, yeah, she's pulling out. Yeah. So, which this method is only about 78% effective. So, you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll just share. Yeah, I'll just share.
Uh-huh.
Morgan already knows. Look, this is the problem with doing a podcast, or maybe the gift of doing the podcast with your best friend. She already is like in my mind. It's like telepathy. She's like, yeah, I know. I remember that time that he didn't pull out, and that you said he was going to pull out in time. And yeah. But I will say that as a person who has not been pregnant to my knowledge and who has used Plan B a few times, do not be ashamed. Go into Walgreens and get that Plan B, or Planned Parenthood, which is where I mostly went. Shout out Planned Parenthood, Santa Barbara. What?
Yeah.
They were like, okay, this isn't, do we need a stamp card for you? This isn't like frequent flyer miles. Like you need to try some other methods.
It's not your routine. Yeah, you don't need to, you know, we know where you were on Friday because you're here on Saturday every week.
It was usually Sunday, and they were always like, why aren't you taking the condoms? Like, you wouldn't have to do an emergency appointment if you just planned with these condoms. It's in the name, Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, it's an exciting thing. Anyways, point being, I've tried.
She likes the drama of it all.
I do. I'm all about the drama. That's why I'm in therapy. But I would be like, like careless when I was younger with like the pull-out method. And I will say that even with like my now partner, we have used it a few times. I now have I was going to say UTI, not UTI. What is it? What do I have?
Yeah. Still need some cranberry juice. IUD.
IUD. They're way too close. I definitely have told someone that I have a UTI, and they were probably like, is that something that you needed to share?
They're like, so was that a small fry or large? What?
But anyways, pull-out method is not effective enough for you. especially if you have other options available to you. Now, we all know that, yeah, places like Planned Parenthood are highly politicized, and a lot of places in our country do not want to provide Planned Parenthood. And so if you have access to a Planned Parenthood, please go see about your options, because seriously, first of all, I had insurance through my parents. So I was already very privileged in that situation, but I was young and I didn't have very good health education. And so a lot of the things, or sex education. Yeah. And so a lot of the things I was figuring out myself. And yeah, I will say that I did enjoy being a young and dumb person. I still kind of enjoy it. I don't know. But but the pull-out method, just don't do it. It just causes so much anxiety. And maybe when you're young, it's like, it's kind of exciting because you might be like drunk or something. I don't know. But it's not fun after that. After you have to like sit through Planned Parenthood. What if one day, you know, they don't have enough? What if they're out of Plan B pills that day? You know, it's like, don't rely on the pull-out method. A lot of guys will, you know, they might say that they pulled out and you don't really know. I mean, you don't really know.
Do what you want, but make sure it's by your choice. Don't, you know, let someone, this way. No, here's the fact, 78% effective. So if you want to take those stats and go with it, that's your choice. No one else's, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So 4 options. Those are the 4 contraception options for men. Like we said, the amount of birth control options for women in comparison is like tenfold.
Right.
You know, the pill, the implant, the IUD, the NuvaRing. There are so many options. And so the next thing I kind of wanted to get into was the stakes around contraception for men versus women.
Yeah. So oh yeah, go ahead. No. You can start us off. Obviously, I have opinions.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, let me get the title out. Hold on. You're like, you know, jumping at it.
Like a racehorse. I'm like ready to go.
Yeah. I found this article in The Atlantic, and it was about a clinical trial that was doing an injectable hormone contraception for men that was seeming really promising. It was 96% effective at preventing pregnancy by lowering the sperm count. But it was discontinued early by an independent committee because the side effects were considered to outweigh the potential benefits. So what were these side effects for these men? Mood changes, depression, pain at injection site, and increased libido. That's it. That was it.
I knew it. I literally was gonna jokingly say, what was it? A little moodiness? I was gonna joke and poke fun, and that literally was it. Men didn't want to deal with 10% of what we deal with on a monthly basis when we get our period. Like, that is all that it was, right? And, you know, and first I will say, obviously, a lot of things that we talk about, because our society is very politicized, we are talking in the binary, right? We're talking about, you know, assigned female at birth, assigned male at birth, and, you know, through your life, you kind of stuck with that as far as like contraception goes. But that's the reality, right? Like, there are so many people that don't fall into those groups. And so when you fall anywhere outside of that, or if you're just not highly educated on these facts, you're going to fall into a lot of really precarious and sometimes dangerous situations. And the fact that like this seemingly, you know, okay, you know, product or startup idea that could have like continued was stopped because men don't want to like be inconvenienced. It just like speaks volumes about what we, you know, really value in our society. Yeah.
So let's talk about the side effects for women or people who can get pregnant.
Okay.
On the pill, the NuvaRing, with the implant, or with the IUD. Like we said, there are lots of options.
Okay.
So, headache, nausea, cramps, yeast infections, breast tenderness, acne, weight gain, vaginal irritation, abdominal pain, decreased libido, ovarian cysts, sepsis, or perforated uterus.
Oof.
So those are all potential side effects from things that are on the market currently for women.
Wow.
In comparison, yeah. So,
which, by the way, all those side effects can happen during childbirth, and then you have a baby after. So, like, they basically want us to go through childbirth to not have a child, instead of them just like being a little moody and like maybe like having a cramp every now and then.
Yeah. It was right. Pain at injection site. That's getting a shot. That's just getting a shot. I was okay.
They were thinking of ideas. They were like, well, what else was bad about it? I don't know. My arm kind of hurts. Yeah, that too. That's horrible. We can't have that. Like, excuse me,
stop everything. Halt. And an increased libido, which I don't know if they were frenzied at that point, but so the side effects really, are a lot more substantial on the women or people who can get pregnant side. So
right.
Yeah. So continuing on, this article published, or it talked about a study where more than a million women were included that found that women who use hormonal birth control were more likely to be prescribed antidepressants. So as we know, so the effects aren't just, well, there are the side effects, but then it does, contribute further down the line as well. So but okay, so why are women going through this? Ryan's already been pretty clear on this, I would say, but we are in a patriarchal society. So what are some of the effects that birth control had on modern society? 1/3 of women's wage gains since the 60s can be attributed to the availability of oral contraceptives. Yeah. So college enrollment has historically been higher among women who have access to the pill. And birth control has been estimated to account for more than 30% of the increase in the proportion of women in skilled careers from the 70s to the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's not, I'm always interested in statistics, mainly because sometimes you do have to kind of take it with like, okay, so where does this come from? Who supported or
we
created
don't have
these statistics?
the census of who these million women were.
Right.
What was their socioeconomical situation?
Right.
So it does depend. No, that's really
it does
true.
depend.
Yeah.
Right. But to their point, I would say that women that have access to have agency and ownership over their own body are definitely going to be more likely to be the ones that are going out getting education, not because that they're the only ones that maybe want it, but because they're the ones that obviously have more access to agency. They have more access to controlling what happens to their bodies. And so I think that even if these million women that they found, of course, they all are subject and controlled in this society, as especially when we're talking about older generations. But yeah, it shows that obviously having more education on things and having more just ability to control what happens to your body and what happens when somebody else inserts something into your body, it just obviously will breed more independent and more independent minded women. I mean, or people who can get pregnant. So
yeah. Right. Yeah, absolutely. And the article concluded basically saying that women valued their freedom, the side effects or the consequences outweighed their access to freedom. So, I mean, vice versa, their access to freedom outweighed those side effects.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so, that's why we take the pill every day.
Right. No, exactly. Because I mean, in reality, it's, first of all, women who either want to get pregnant and so they're using birth control as like, it kind of like regulates your hormones so that when you go off birth control, you can get pregnant easier, or, all the ways that birth control is used is not only to prevent pregnancy, it could be being used to actually get pregnant or become pregnant. So the reality is that in both of those situations, women are in control of their bodies.
Yeah.
Women are in control of what happens to their bodies and how it happens to their bodies. Because, the reality is that, yeah, when you're taking something orally or something is being inserted into your body, that is happening because you have control over it. And so I just think, yeah, not only is contraception, obviously it has to deal with, both men and women, but the reality is that that's a burden that we have to figure out much more often than I hear just your average like cis straight man talking about. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And there was another point in this article where, what did it say? A company gave up on male contraception that involved an annual implant or quarterly injection because it was not as convenient as a woman taking a pill once a day. So, which is not that convenient. Trying to stay on track with your pill is a pain in the ass. It really is. And if you miss like 2 or 3 days in a row, your period kicks back in and you're like, oh my gosh, I just ruined this pair of underwear. My hormones are all fucked up. I'm bloated right now. Like, it's
no, exactly. It's and that's why I think so many women go through so many different types. Obviously, I don't have the stats on this, but I do know from personal experience and just women that I've met. Yeah, you usually kind of shop around. You try a few types because it has to fit your lifestyle, right? If you're someone that travels a lot, you're not going to remember to take a pill or just have the ability to do so, right? If you're living in another country or, there's so many reasons. I mean, unless you're in, places like Canada that has socialized healthcare. And so you can get birth control no matter who you are, because guess what? Everybody is a human that needs taking care of, whatever it is, right? But we have to worry about that. Oh, did I refill my prescription in time? Did I reach out to my doctor in time? Is there a Planned Parenthood near me so that I can go get it, right? I mean, it's also about access. And that burden is so hugely and largely put on the woman to make sure that if she doesn't want to get pregnant, or have an unexpected pregnancy, that she take care of it, before her one night stands, right? As if, men don't go out looking for the same type of one night stands as well. You know what I mean? So.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. And so I just wanted to put a side note here that the men in the trial said they were willing to continue. So the people that stopped the trial were not the men who were participating. So not to say we're bashing on these guys, for crying about getting a shot. I just want to make a note of that. Right. And then I did see something. Sorry, quick update after I did my notes. So they are currently working on a method of birth control using sperm killing antibodies that trap and kill the sperm. So it's just, there is still research going on basically, but this happened to pop up on my Instagram feed like the day after I did the notes. And so I was like, oh, look at that. Okay. Yeah. So hopefully.
Sperm killers. It sounds like a feminist rock band, like sperm killers.
Yeah.
Which I love. Like that, I'm not opposed.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and birth control can just take such a toll on your body. Right. I think I saw something like 40% of women can't take the pill, like hormonal birth control. Right. It's, but you have to try it to then see what kind of side effects are going to occur in your body. And it's tricky. It's really hard. I mean, I was on birth control for like 10 years and I went off it during the pandemic, like I said in other episodes. Very long pandemic, very dry season for me. So I was like, well, I don't need to be putting these hormones in my body. It's been a while. Right. But yeah, going off those, my mood, I know that was affected. I am, for some reason, I'm still plagued with acne, Right, so, right. But I was actually getting more acne like on my back, which I'd never had, so I'm trying to figure that out. I may or may not go back on it. I don't know.
Right. But yeah, it regulates a lot of things, and there's a lot more benefits than just, exactly, unplanned pregnancy. Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So to wrap it all up, I found this story. where, Ryan and I have talked a lot about education and access and resources, and, hopefully you guys will go find that. I'm not saying we know everything. Obviously we don't, because we're talking on this podcast, but but I found this story and I was like, this is wild. So contraception gone wrong. Here is some advice we will give out. Do not use a potato for contraception.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So a 22-year-old woman in Colombia was hospitalized after the potato she was using as contraception began growing roots 2 weeks after she'd begun using it.
The potato stays in the vagina?
Okay, that was my question. I was wondering if you were going to bring that up, because I could not figure out if the potato, if she left it in the vagina or if she was like putting it in and taking it out. Which, like, how do you get it out? This is why I don't want to use the NuvaRing or the Diva Cup. How do you get those things out?
I mean, I'll tell you later, but
no, give me an example right now. No, but OnlyFans.
yeah, that's for our OnlyFans. If you're interested, email us. We go under aliases. It's sperm killers. No. But we'll come back to that. We're definitely going to have to come back to this topic. I find it fascinating, all the different types of ways. We went from crocodile shit, and I thought we had made it to like the 2000s, and then you brought in potato sprouts. So yeah, it's okay. We have a lot more to discuss on this topic, but first of all, I really appreciate the way that you've presented contraception, because never did I think that I'd be talking about lemons and crocodile shit on this episode. I wore my shirt. So this is shameless plug to one of my very good friends. It says, I'm a cool mom. If you're not watching on YouTube, or if you're not watching the visual conversation, it says, I'm a cool mom. One of my friends, Eli Thorell, he went viral on TikTok for basically making Mean Girls, recreating their scenes on TikTok, which is not as easy as you think. I don't know if I'm just too old for it, but it's not easy. Anyways, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that this cool mom that he's impersonating in the movie Mean Girls is like way more open and educated about sex and like sharing it with her, young kids and their friends. And I really wish I had that. I mean, Mom, you were cool. I know you're listening to this, whatever. You're great. But I'm just saying is that when we think of like figures like that like, share condoms with kids and things like that, it's like, oh my gosh, that's so over the line. No, that's where the line, that's what the standard should be. That should be the standard, that you're sharing good education with your kids, because guess what? They're gonna fuck anyway. They're gonna do it. And guess what? They're probably gonna do it in your bed when you're gone this weekend. Right. They're fucking right now. If you're listening to this on a Sunday, they are fucking right now. But seriously, be honest with them. Share things about contraception. This should not be like a quote unquote adult topic, right? Like, this should be something that we could discuss. So that's where I would like to leave it.
Yeah. And go to Pride. I mean, go to Pride anyway, because it's super fun. But the amount of condoms they give out is incredible. Yes. I was thinking about that when I was doing the notes. I was like, I don't think I've ever purchased a pack of condoms. I don't think I've ever bought one. Right. Like,
let's go to Pride.
Why? Because you go to Pride, you stock up, and they're really fun, and they're different colors, and they glow in the dark, and they have different flavors, and
right, yeah, because the gay community knows they're fucking. They're like, we're fucking. Yeah. Straight people, get on board. What are you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing? Getting pregnant? You're using potatoes. Anyway. So don't use potatoes. If you take away anything, please don't use potato. But yeah, maybe we'll revisit this topic down the line. We could go on forever, but yeah, this was really fun.
Awesome.
We would love to hear if you guys have had any contraception mishaps, as we have. Did something get stuck somewhere? Tell us about your Walgreens quote unquote walk of shame. We don't think so. Celebrate protecting yourself and doing what you gotta do. Yeah. Like I said, are we doing this wrong? We all might again. The options are out there. Support Planned Parenthood. They do awesome things.
I'm about to go do it wrong right now in the kitchen. Just kidding. I'm just gonna eat dinner.
No potatoes. Make sure all the potatoes are in the pantry. So
Anyway.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us again this week. We'll be back next week with a new episode. Thank you again to our awesome. Oh, it's frozen.
Just say that last part again. Oh,
okay.
Just say that last part. Join us next week.
Join us next week for another episode. Thank you so much to our interpreters today. You guys are so awesome from ProBonoASL. If you guys get a chance, give us a follow on Instagram. We're at Wrong the Podcast. Like I said, DM us with your crazy stories. You know we want to hear about it. Oh my gosh, what else? Rate, subscribe, follow, save, tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your younger cousins who may need more information on contraception.
Right, yeah, exactly. This is exactly what they need to listen to. They should just play this in health education.
Right. Yeah. Watch out, health teachers, we're coming for you. Coming for you.
Right.
So. No, we're not. So
they need more anyway. But thank you so much for tuning in with us. We love it every week, and we really hope that you'll join the conversation and make sure to reach out to us if you really have questions or comments, any of the sort.
Yeah, we want to know. We want to talk with you guys about it.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time. And thanks. All right.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.